specific items for practice. We're going to be getting some background knowledge of Shakespeare. You're going to be working together to kind of gather new knowledge of a new concept. And last but not least, you folks are going to get a deeper understanding of what the heck is the play that you're going to be performing. So right below that, you folks have this giant chart that we're actually not going to work with at all. So you can go ahead and cross that off. Maybe doing something to replace that next week. And instead, we're going to move on to page 293 and look at step number 2. So could someone read step 2 for us, please? Go for it, Max.
Paraphrase this line book in my sister in a Midsummer night dream. Do you agree or disagree? Of course, the true love never did front.
Okay, Lysander is one of the major characters of the play, and this is a pretty well-known line from one of his speeches. He states, "The course of true love never did run smooth." What do you think that means? Yeah?
It wasn't easy to find true love.
Okay, it's not easy to find true love? Roger.
Love isn't easy to maintain.
Love isn't easy to maintain. Nice. Santiago?
When you find a person you want to be with, it's not always going to be smooth. You're going to have conflict.
Okay, you're going to have conflicts trying to find the person you want to be with. It's never going to be smooth. Okay, these are all 3 great paraphrases. So do you agree or disagree with that? Just one single sentence, maybe 2 if you want it. Now, this one quote is really giving you an idea of the general background of the plot. It's got to do with love and how love is a tricky thing. Now, after step 2, step 3 is going to have you look at 3 separate scenarios. But what I'm going to have you do first, in the My Notes column on the right-hand side, just like you see on the screen, go ahead and write down the numbers 1, 2, and 3, and give yourself some space between each one. Nice and simple. Now, I'm going to read each one of these scenarios aloud to you. And there's going to be a question or 2 at the end of the scenario for you to respond to and write in the My Notes column. Each one of these scenarios is essentially something that's happening to the characters in the play that you'll be performing. All right, this is the first one. The person you're in love with has invited you to your 8th grade school dance. Your parents who disapprove of this person lay down the law and say you're absolutely not allowed to attend the dance with this person. If you want to go, you can go with X. Your choices are go to the dance with X or don't go at all. So now you're faced with a dilemma. You're forbidden to go to the dance with the person you love, but you're permitted to attend with X, who has been in love with you forever and whom your parents adore. So would you go to the dance under these conditions? Why or why not?
Does it mean they would still go with the person that asked us or with the guy that recommended?
Depends. Can you find the loophole? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wouldn't most of us consider that?
Yeah. Why can't you still see the guy?
The first one, find away. True love finds a way. Is what? Yeah, figure it out. I love all my children.
You told me literally yesterday.
Love how that got recorded too. You told me how to go live. Alright, scenario 2. Let's see what you guys on. Here's scenario 2. Since you were forbidden by your parents to attend the dance, the 2 of you devise a plan, you sneak out, and you go anyway. All of a sudden, you notice that your love is no longer in sight. So you start to search for them, and eventually you find him or her in the corner talking with your friend. So you happily interrupt the conversation, but you're horrified to discover that your love just confessed his or her love to your best buddy. So, what would you do if you saw this, and how would you feel? Okay, last scenario, last one. You confront your love after seeing them kiss your best friend. However, they announce that they no longer have any interest in you, and they want nothing to do with you. Your best friend seems really confused because they've always been in love with your boyfriend or girlfriend, but they never shared it. So, what would you do to your now ex-boyfriend or girlfriend? But even more importantly, would you be mad at your best friend? In this scenario, they didn't have it. The best friend has known himself. That's what I'm assuming they're saying from the scenario. Alright, last 3, 2, and 1. Alright, now all of these scenarios, some part of this scenario does happen in the play. So I'm not saying it's like a boyfriend and a girlfriend going to a dance or anything, but the idea of someone being scorned by a lover, yeah, that's definitely a part of this play. So these emotions, these reactions that you had would be perfect to really showcase in certain characters that maybe you have in your scene. At this point, go ahead and turn the page. We're going to be moving on to the actual characters and what this play is all about. So at the top of page 294, there's the heading of connection to the play. Owen, could you read that for us?
In Shakespeare's comedy, A Midsummer Night's Dream, four sisters, Lysander, Hermia, Helena, and Demetrius, are entangled in a very complicated relationship that leads them to all comical.
All right, so these four major characters, they're the basis of essentially a love pentagram, not so much a love triangle. These guys are a lot different. And I say a pentagram because there's more characters involved too. So right below step 4, we've got the characters listed out. Owen was able to nail each one of the actual pronunciations of the name, which was great. But there's also the pronunciation listed to make sure that you actually say their name right. That's key here. But I want to go through each one of the characters, make sure you hear the pronunciation, but you also know how they fit. All right? So the first major character is Hermia. Hermia is a female. She's the daughter of a wealthy businessman. She's well-to-do. She has everything that she could possibly want. And she's in love with a man named Lysander. The second major character is Lysander. This is a guy. Lysander, he makes a lot of money. He's well-to-do. And he also loves Hermia. So things sound right. We've got two people that are in love with each other. But that's not all well and good in the land of Shakespeare. So our third character is Demetrius. This is a guy. Demetrius loves Hermia, but Hermia doesn't love him. However, Demetrius kind of lands in good because Hermia's daddy likes Demetrius, and daddy does not like Lysander. So daddy wants to push Demetrius into the marriage zone and kick out Lysander. So there's a little bit of an issue happening there. Now, last major character is Helena. Helena is Hermia's best friend. She doesn't care for Lysander. She wants Demetrius. But this poor girl is left out in the cold because no one wants her. They both want Hermia. Kind of sad. You know, and so is the fate of the world, right? It happens a lot. So now I'm going to draw your attention to that half sheet of paper that I gave you, folks. If you didn't pass out the half sheet, go ahead and do that real quick. We're going to be making some marks on this sheet. All the marks that I want you to make are going to pop up on the screen, so you can just copy as you go. Now, the first thing we're going to do with this synopsis is we're going to divide it. So watch the screen where a line appears and make sure that the line shows up exactly in the same spot on your half sheet. All right? We're breaking it up into two distinct areas. All right, now the top half is what we're going to be calling before potion, or BP. Now there's a little bit of magic that happens in this play, like legit magic, and it involves a potion. And what happens before and after the potion is really important. All right, now the second half is what we're going to call after potion, or AP. Now the next mark that's going to pop up on the screen, you might want to do it on the back side of this half sheet because you may not have enough room. It's going to be a key. And we're going to be identifying the major characters in the synopsis and the minor characters. And it's up to you what key marks you want to use. For the screen, you're just going to see two different highlighted colors. So blue is going to indicate a major character, which you have been introduced to already, and yellow is going to be a minor character. Now, the minor characters, they are going to appear in the scenes that are selected for the class. So even if the character is considered minor, they still have some significant role into pushing the story along. All right, now even before we read it, we're going to go ahead and make the marks of where these characters fall. So our first minor character, his name is Theseus. Theseus is essentially the king, and his soon-to-be wife is named Hippolyta. Kind of like hippopotamus, but not. So we've got Theseus and Hippolyta. They essentially are going to be ruling this kingdom. Then we have our major characters of Hermia, who loves Lysander, Demetrius, who loves Hermia, and Helena, who just gets the short end of the stick and no one cares for her. All right. Now, there's a few more characters in the synopsis. We have Oberon and Titania. Oberon and Titania, they are fairies. They control and they are the rulers of the deep woods. We have Robin, who is essentially like their secretary. And the last minor character is Bottom. That's a very nice name. Now, we're going to be reading through this synopsis 2 different times. The first time, we're just going to be looking only at the sheet of paper. The second time, we're going to kind of act it out a little bit to help you start making the connections. All right, here we go. This is our first reading. This is our Midsummer Night's Dream synopsis. Theseus, the Duke or King of Athens, is planning the festivities for his upcoming wedding to the newly captured queen of the Amazons, Hippolyta. Hermia and her lover Lysander make plans to flee Athens and escape her father's decree that she must marry Demetrius. Demetrius pursues the couple into the woods near the city, and he's followed by Helena, who's in love with him. In the woods, Oberon and Titania, king and queen of the fairies, quarrel over possession of a young Indian boy. Oberon pities Helena and orders Robin to anoint Demetrius' eyes with a potion that will make him fall in love with the next living creature he sees. But Robin makes a mistake and puts the potion on Lysander's eyes. So before this potion happened, we had people that were in love. We had people that had a love for someone, but it wasn't returned. And now a potion was supposed to change that, but an error was made. All right, so let's see what happens after this potion has been given. Both Demetrius and Lysander fall in love with Helena, who believes they're mocking her. Oberon has also ordered Robin to apply the potion to wife Titania after their quarrel. And under the influence of the flower's magic, she falls in love with an amateur actor named Bottom, who's been given a donkey's head, a.k.a. the jackass. Oberon and Titania are eventually reunited, and together they use music to charm Bottom and the lovers into a deep sleep and reverse the spells. The couples are discovered by Theseus and Hippolyta, and Theseus decrees that Lysander will marry Hermia, Demetrius will marry Helena, while Theseus marries Hippolyta. The play ends with the 3 couples united in marriage. So that's a quick rundown, but I know the first time you hear through it, it can be kind of tricky to make those connections and follow through. So I'm going to have us go through this again, but I'm going to need volunteers. All right. Now, at the bottom of page 294, you guys have this large blank box. I want you to go ahead and write those 2 red headings and split that box into 2 for me. We're going to be making a visual of these characters before they got attacked by Robin's love potion and after. And I'll be helping you here. If you want to use my character diagrams, you can. You don't have to. If you want to make your own, go for it. But here's the most amazing drawings of your life. Boom! Yeah, check that out. Yeah. All right. So these are the 4 major characters. I wanted to make them simple and make it easy for myself. So Hermia's got apparently 2 strands of curly hair. Helena has 2 strands of straight hair. Lysander is rocking spikes, and Demetrius is the flat top. All right. Now, we have to make a diagram of what was happening before the potion with these 4. So here's my diagram. If you want to copy it, fantastic, but you've got to be paying attention to what's happening with the arrows. There's something major going on. So we've got Hermia and Lysander at the top. And we got the middle symbol. Now, Hermia loves Lysander, hence the heart pointing to him. Lysander loves Hermia, hence the arrow pointing to her. It's mutual. They like each other. All right, now straight below, we've got Helena and Demetrius. Now, we know that Helena loves Demetrius. That's why there's the arrow pointing to him. But Demetrius doesn't love Helena. That's why the arrow doesn't go back. Instead, Demetrius loves Hermia. So you've got an arrow pointing up towards her. So it's almost like a backward V. So we have a mutual love of two characters, and then we have two instances of unrequited love. So one person loves someone, but it's not returned back. That's what the unrequited love is all about. So something else to consider, both men want Hermia, and Helena gets the short end of the stick. She's the loner. Which, yes, it is sad. So hopefully, about this point, you've got this going on your sheet. The before potion, we've got this happening. If you don't have it all, don't freak out. I'm going to be copying this same piece onto the whiteboard. All right, now let's talk about the after potion characters. There's 3 additions after the potion pops up. You've got Oberon rocking the super tall crown, Titania that's got the 2 curly strands of hair with the wings, and then Bottom, a 6-figure with a superb horse head. All right, horseman. All right, so now things are going to get a little bit trickier. Now we got this thing going on. So what's happening here, that right-hand side, the sad faces, we've got Hermia with the curly hair. She's sad because she doesn't have any love. That's the broken heart. Oberon, right below her, the King of the Furies, he's sad too because he also doesn't have anyone loving him. And then the left-hand side, we've got Titania, Queen of the Fairies. She's loving Horseman, a.k.a. Bottom. But notice, Bottom isn't returning it to her. And then way at the bottom, we have Helena, dead center, that Demetrius is giving love to, Lysander is giving love to, but again, she's not returning it because she thinks she's being tricked. They're making fun of her, so she's not returning that love. I think my personal favorite is Oberon apparently has a broken back. Did you see that? I could see the funny face being that.
Oh, I see.
Now, something else to consider, too, you might want to draw yourself a small diagram again of what happens to the 4 major characters once the potion is reversed. What happens to Helena, Hermia, Lysander, and Demetrius once the potion is reversed and taken away? So hopefully you guys have something like this happening right now. So we've got the after potion bit. Okay, now I want to make sure that you've got the gist of the plot of the entire play kind of stuck in your head. So I'm going to be showing you, it's about a 6.5-minute animated version of the plot. The narrator isn't the most enthusiastic and awesome, but again, it's just another example to maybe just really hit home the entire plot of the story. So let's go ahead and show that.